this point, it's over. That whole Sky Barbie thing, that thing is over. Angel Reese is done in Chicago. They're going to move on. They have to. With what Courtney Vandersloot just came back and said, Courtney Vandersloot just smoked Angel Reese. And you know who else is going in on Angel Reese? You got Nightcap with Unk and Ocho, Shannon Sharp and Chad Johnson going in on this Angel Reese situation. She didn't think it was going to go this way.
If you're going to go at a legend, you better not miss. As we know, Angel Reese come out this week. She absolutely crushed her own teammates into the dust, and she even decided to go after a legend, the legendary Courtney Vandersloot, who, of course, blew out her ACL at the beginning of the season, and she is in the midst of making a comeback. And, of course, Angel Reese made some comments that were none too kind to a legend. Angel Reese will be lucky if she has a third of the career.
The Chicago Sky locker room isn't just fractured anymore. It's leaking for the entire world to see. And the latest outburst came not from a controversial star you'd expect, but from a soft-spoken legend who finally decided she'd had enough. When Courtney Vandersloot fires back, you know the situation has reached a boiling point. This is more than just drama. It's a defining moment that exposes a brutal divide between earned respect and manufactured hype, and it might have just sealed the fate of one of the WNBA's most polarizing players.
Angel will not have the career that Courtney Vandersloot has had. She won't. You know why? Because I don't think the league's going to tolerate her long enough. She's going to run her mouth until she just ends up jumping from team to team until she does what I think she should do right now.
Before we unpack the stunning fallout, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the shocking conclusion to this saga. Courtney Vandersloot is the kind of player you build a legacy around. A 5-time All-Star, a 7-time assist champion, and a 2-time WNBA champion. Her name is synonymous with consistency, leadership, and a basketball IQ that's virtually unmatched. She's the engine of any team she's on, a floor general who makes everyone around her significantly better. She's put in the work for over a decade, grinding through seasons and building a resume that speaks for itself, a career defined by elevating her team to the highest level. On the other side stands Angel Reese. From her days at LSU to her explosive entry into the league, she has thrived in the center of chaos, building a massive personal brand on confidence and controversy. She's a rebounding force of nature, a marketing phenomenon who has brought new eyes to the game, but also a magnet for conflict. For a while, the antics were written off as part of her competitive fire, a necessary edge for a rookie proving herself.
I don't know, Angel Reese. This is what Courtney Vandersloot had to say. She's firing off. Angel Reese, you got her twisted. She said, contrary to what people think, what people say or think, my age is actually not a factor. I am coming back. This is after Angel Reese said, yeah, Sloot is old. We need somebody young that can do this, that got some experience, but we need somebody young. She too old. I don't know if she can come back from that torn.
But now, a sophomore into a professional career, the act is wearing dangerously thin as the targets of her comments have shifted from rivals to those within her own organization. The question is no longer about her undeniable talent, but about her crippling lack of timing and her bewildering choice of target. The entire conflict ignited when Angel Reese, in a public interview, decided to voice her unsolicited concerns about her own teammates' viability. She didn't just gently question Courtney Vandersloot's recovery from a torn ACL. She essentially wrote her off in a stunningly dismissive manner. Reese was caught saying the team needed somebody young, directly implying Vandersloot was too old and past her prime, and openly doubting if she could even come back from such a significant injury, a process that requires immense mental and physical fortitude. This wasn't a private conversation between players or a frustrated locker room moment vented in heat. This was a calculated, public dismissal broadcast of the world of the legend who was, at that very moment, in the grueling and lonely process of rehab, working tirelessly every single day to return to the court and help her team. including Reese herself. It was more than just throwing shade. It was a profound sign of disrespect that echoed across the entire league, shocking fans and analysts alike with its sheer audacity and lack of team-first awareness. But Courtney Vandersloot didn't respond with a messy Instagram post or a cryptic subtweet aimed at stirring the pot further. She didn't need to stoop to that level. When asked about her future, she responded with the quiet, devastating confidence of someone who has nothing to prove to anyone, least of all a second-year player. She stated, point blank, contrary to what people say or think, my age is not a factor. I'm coming back. This was a direct and elegant counterpunch, a flawless clapback that didn't need to scream to be heard across the sports world.
I mean, it's crazy. It is crazy, but it shouldn't shock me coming from this fan base at all. Oh, but she's on video now, and she's made a direct shot. Courtney has answered the shot from Angel Reese. And I got to be honest with you. How much, here, I'm going to speculate out loud. How much shit was Angel Reese talking in that Chicago Sky locker room last year around Kennedy Carter about Caitlin Clark? All right, think about that a minute. The influence there. I got to tell you, I don't think it was Kennedy Carter that blew that locker room up. I think it was Angel Reese.
It landed like a hammer because it was rooted in a truth Reese can't yet understand, the weight of a proven legacy. Everyone knows Vandersloot's word is bond because her entire career, every assist, title, and championship ring, backs it up with unshakable authority. Reese's comments, meanwhile, just sounded like the immature, improving criticisms of a player who hasn't yet accomplished a fraction of what she's so carelessly trying to tear down, revealing a deep lack of self-awareness. This incident feels less like an isolated misstep and more like the culmination of a much deeper and more worrying pattern. The Chicago Sky locker room has been a source of tension and speculation for a while now. Last season, the team saw the shocking departure of franchise star Kalia Copper, and persistent rumors swirled about a toxic environment being a key factor in her decision to leave. At the time, some pointed fingers in various directions, but this latest episode with Vandersloot forces you to re-examine everything that has transpired. It makes you wonder how much of that previous dysfunction was actually initiated or exacerbated by Angel Reese. Was it really other players causing the primary issues, or was the young star increasingly focused on cultivating her own brand and voicing her blunt opinions, already sowing discord and challenging veterans behind the scenes last season? The evidence is now mounting that the common denominator in this ongoing chaos might just be Reese herself, a pattern that threatens to define her career if not corrected.
Sloot wasn't going for it. And I'm going to tell you right now, Courtney Vandersloot has won a title in Chicago, and she will not be playing with Angel Reese next year. I'm going to tell you that right now. Angel Reese is good as gone. Good as gone.
The contrast between Angel Reese and her perennial rival, Caitlin Clark, has never been starker or more revealing. Clark, also in her second year, is dealing with unprecedented pressure, constant physical targeting on the court that borders on dangerous, and a microscope on her every move, both on and off the court. Yet, her approach is fundamentally and noticeably different. She absorbs the hard fouls, gets up without retaliation, focuses intensely on her own development and film study, and leads her team forward to action without ever throwing teammates under the bus or publicly questioning their value and commitment. She understands, intrinsically, that true franchise leadership is about elevating everyone around you and creating a cohesive culture, not creating divisive headlines that fracture the unit and make everything about one individual. Reese's recent actions reveal a focus on Angel Reese, the brand, while Clark's reveal a focus on basketball, the team, and the win. One is patiently building a legacy. The other is rapidly burning bridges. In the middle of this mess, the Chicago Sky's management looks utterly powerless and indecisive, failing their entire organization. Their response to Reese's public and damaging behavior has been a masterclass in weakness and poor leadership. Handing down a mere half-game suspension isn't real discipline. It's a pathetic and transparent joke that nobody in the league takes seriously. It sends a clear message that they are terrified of truly holding their star accountable because she sells tickets and generates social media buzz, prioritizing marketing over championship culture. They want to pretend they're maintaining order and upholding standards while still desperately keeping her on the court to avoid any financial or promotional dip. This kind of spineless leadership from the front office destroys teams from the inside out, creating a rotten foundation. It tells the veterans they aren't valued and their contributions are meaningless. And it tells the problem player that there are no real consequences for damaging actions. Why would any respected, winning free agent ever want to sign with a franchise that allows its locker room to become a daily reality TV show, run by an inexperienced sophomore and enabled by a clueless and compliant front office? All of this leads to one inevitable, shocking conclusion. The relationship between Courtney Vandersloot and Angel Reese is irrevocably broken. The trust is gone, evaporated the moment Reese's public comments hit the airwaves. You cannot publicly question a legend's heart, ability, and value, and then expect to share court with them as if nothing happened. That foundational layer of mutual respect, which is absolutely non-negotiable for any successful team, has been completely shattered. Courtney Vandersloot has won a championship in Chicago, and her legacy there is cemented in the history books. Her contributions are untouchable. Angel Reese, however, is the one who now faces a profoundly uncertain future, a future largely of her own making. The prediction isn't just that this partnership is over, it's that Reese will be the one on the move. She's actively creating an environment that scouts and general managers would describe as toxic and utterly unsustainable for winning championships. The Chicago Sky front office, despite its current hesitancy, will eventually be forced to make a business decision to trade her before her value plummets even further amidst the growing drama. The league is a business, and a disruptive presence, regardless of talent, becomes a liability. Think about the calculus for any potential trade partner. A team would be acquiring a phenomenal rebounder and a player who brings immense media attention, but they would also be inheriting a massive, pre-existing controversy and a pattern of behavior that has now publicly undermined a beloved veteran. The general manager who makes that trade will have to answer to their own locker room, to their established veterans, and to fans who value chemistry. They'll have to be convinced that their team's culture is strong enough to absorb the potential turbulence, and that their coach has the authority to manage it. This significantly limits the market and lowers the return Chicago can expect, pushing Reese closer to that journeywoman path. She's on a path to jumping from team to team, each stay lasting only as long as the novelty of her talent outweighs the frustration of her antics, until she either experiences a profound moment of self-reflection and humbles herself, prioritizing team over brand, or the league simply decides it's had enough of the constant drama and moves on. This isn't just about one comment. It's about the entire trajectory of a career. The WNBA, for all its growth, is still a league where reputation and relationships matter immensely. It's a close-knit community. Veterans talk. Coaches compare notes. Agents know which players are considered high maintenance. Reese is in grave danger of being labeled as a player who is more trouble than she is worth, a devastating tag that can follow an athlete forever and severely limit their opportunities. For every team that might be tempted by her box office draw, two others will be scared off by the prospect of fracturing their own carefully built chemistry. The choice is now squarely in Angel Reese's court. She can continue down this path, believing her hype is untouchable, and risk becoming a cautionary tale about wasted potential. Or she can take this brutal moment as a learning experience, apologize sincerely not just to Vandersloot, but to the entire organization, and dedicate herself to being a teammate first. The ball, as they say, is in her hands. But the clock is ticking, and the entire league is watching to see what she does with it. Will she build a legacy, or will she become a footnote known for what she could have been? This saga is the ultimate cautionary tale, a story that transcends basketball and speaks to professionalism in any field. It's a brutal reminder that in professional sports, raw talent is only half the battle. Character, integrity, and emotional intelligence complete the picture. Respect isn't given or demanded through social media buzz. It's earned quietly through years of grind, unwavering professionalism, and proven, tangible success when it matters most. You can't talk your way into a lasting legacy. You have to build it brick by brick, through actions that uplift your team and validate the trust placed in you. Courtney Vandersloot's calm, powerful, and measured response wasn't just a masterful clapback. It was a masterclass in leadership. It was a lesson in how to wield the quiet power of a proven track record, a lesson that Angel Reese so desperately needs to internalize. The critical question is whether she will learn it before it's too late, before a pattern of behavior becomes a permanent reputation that overshadows her undeniable skill on the court. The window for change is still open, but it's closing fast. What do you think happens next? Can this relationship be mended, or has too much damage been done? Is Angel Reese's time in Chicago over, forcing a blockbuster trade this offseason? Let me know your predictions and your thoughts on this entire situation in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown of the high-stakes drama revealing, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps the channel. And subscribe for more deep dives into the biggest sports dramas and stories that define the games we love.